Good morning. I do not know what's happening with that. uh, it is so Monday today. Is anybody else feeling that? My tea is so hot. I'm just going to give you a moment to get situated. Grab your tea, grab your coffee, grab your protein shake, whatever you're having this morning. As you log on, please say good morning in the comments. Let me know you're here. I I feel so exhausted today to the point where like I am legitimately in my pajamas still. I have my hair thrown up. I put this clip in to seem like I had it together and had my hair done for you, but it's a lie. It's a full on it's a full on lie. It's distractive. I mean, I really love this clip, don't get me wrong. But I was laying in bed. I took Caden to school. I came home, crawled back into bed, and I'm like, I'm just gonna lay here for like a couple minutes. Do you ever make that mistake? Slash, maybe it's not a mistake. And I could have fallen back asleep so easily and just kept on sleeping. But I was like, nope, Jody, it's Monday. Go say hello. So here I am, as good as it gets today. And maybe that's like, it could be as good as it gets Monday. What do you think? Who's with me on that? Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Meladine. It was so good to see you this weekend. Cheryl, good morning. Kelly says, I slept like crap and there are 3 people short at work. Can I just win the lottery? Oh, right. This would be a great morning to win the lottery. Suzanne, good morning. It was so, so awesome to see you this weekend, too. April, good morning. Welcome to As Good as It Gets Monday. I don't know. I think there's days where we're just pulling it together, right? We're just, and I don't want to say hanging on by a thread because I mean, there's some of us who could be, and I'm not saying that's where I'm at today, but it's like, it's just enough today. Whatever I will do will be just enough today. Good morning, Krista. Good morning, Corey. And that's okay. Like, I don't think just because, there's the whole hashtag trend, Motivation Monday, and oh, it's a new week and I'm so excited. And like, if you're not feeling that, don't feel that today. You don't have to. Sometimes we have to go through the motions. Sometimes we're just showing up the best that we can show up. And that's okay. Ooh, the sun's reflecting interesting in the window. Um, and that's okay, right? We can show up the best way that we show up every single day. And as long as we're continuing to show up in some way, shape, or form, we're okay. Do you agree with that? How you feeling? I have the crazy honestly, I think it's fine, right? I come on, I'm like, whatever. I can just show up in my pajamas. I'll put a sparkly bread in my hair and it'll be fine for coffee club. And you know what? I'm going to see this later when I scroll through Facebook and I'm going to be like, Jody, seriously, why didn't you do something with whatever's going on with your hair? But we're just going to let it go because the theme today is it's good enough Monday. It's just good enough Monday. What did you do this weekend? Did you have a good weekend? What's going on in your world? Krista says she agrees. I think too. So if you were following my socials on the weekend, um, yeah, that's right. At least we all showed up. Morning, Helen. This weekend, I got to MC this big conference convention that I have for the last several years. And it was really awesome. I absolutely love working with the Alberta Association of Agriculture Societies. So this is like a kind of like a supportive governing body for all ag societies across the province. And so when you're getting together with the people who are at this convention, these are all the volunteers and the people who make up ag societies in all of the communities across our province. And so these are the folks who are showing up to make their communities better, to keep things connected, to keep agriculture going in community, and to bring events and things to bring community together. These are salt of the earth, fantastic people. And so it is always a great crowd to be a part of. And I get the opportunity to host the entertainment portions of the weekend. So there's always a couple of stages where different acts, music based, educational, clowns, like you name it, they are there to showcase to these organizations for the opportunity to get hired of their upcoming event. And so it's a fun, fun weekend. But friends, it's the first one. I mean, I've got to do a couple of things. I mean, last summer when we were open for a little bit and there was, the couple drive-in things in the fall over the last couple of years. But for the most part, that was the first full weekend event that I've got to do since COVID, which, big round of applause. We'll clap our coffee cups for Ace for just going ahead and doing it, figuring out a way to just go ahead and do it safely and lead the charge of the year. So I'm so proud of that organization for doing that, because it's easy. It's easier. And I don't fault and I have zero judgment when I say this, okay? But it is easier to not do something right now in our current climate than it is to do it. And so a lot of people are choosing it's just easier and less complicated to not do it. And that's okay. But what I love about ACE is that their philosophy and their mindset was, we're going to figure out a way to do it the best we can do it. And so there was less people this year, and there was changes to what happened to the regular run of show of what that looked like. But they just adapted and they made some changes. And I know that wasn't easy for that group. So Suzanne, who's here, and Tim and Maria and Rebecca and all of the rest of the directors and all of the people who put that event on, that took some work and it took some planning. And I'm certain there were a lot of behind the scenes phone calls and fires to put out and challenges to face that we had no idea about being a part of that weekend. So cheers to you for doing that. And it was really cool to see people and to get educated and to have showcase opportunities. Like, the whole thing was amazing. But I don't know, Suzanne, you're probably feeling it. I'm exhausted. Like yesterday when I came home, Maria's here. You must be exhausted too. And it wasn't even that, I mean, so people like Maria and Suzanne who are watching, are integral, what was the word I'd be looking? Executors of the event. So like they were busy, they should also be exhausted. But I found just even talking to people that weekend, we were so out of practice. We're so out of practice even to socialize for 3 days in a row. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think we have to give ourselves a little bit of grace in. Maria's got a full body massage booked for today. Yes. So good. I'm proud of you. Good self-care. But it's just there was lots of people saying like, oh, I haven't stayed up this late in so long, and I haven't talked to so many people in so long. And even just because a lot of this conference convention is that they go to different seminars to learn different things to give them more skill set in running these events. And so it's exhausting. So I think everybody who was a part of that weekend is tired on this Monday morning because we are out of practice to socialize. And some people were joking that we're out of practice to have fun, if that makes sense at all. Like, it's just, we've been away from it for so long. And so that reminds me that we need to, I think, do some chatting about that. Definitely start easing our way back into what some of that looks like based on your comfort level and what you want to do. But I mean, with the tools that we have now, there's safe ways to figure out how to do that and how to start socializing yourselves. And it always circles back to my most favorite word, and what I think will be a future. I have some ideas of how I want to build off doing some educating on this word, but it's connection. And I type it into everything we do with every coffee club, but we need to keep circling back to the importance of us connecting, however that may look and whatever that may be. We have to continue those connections, and we're going to be rusty at it. And you would think, I don't know about you, but you would think that oh, we've done that our whole lives. Like, it's not going to be a big deal. When it's time, it's time. We're going to be fine. But friends, like, watching people this weekend, it wasn't that easy. We need to reintegrate ourselves to each other. Does that make sense? I'm going to say, like, I am tired enough that sense is not leading the pack on what's coming out of my mouth today, but it is what it is. So that's what I was thinking about this morning. And just, yeah, so proud of that organization for having that weekend. It was such a good weekend. And it was so amazing to hear people laugh. And I didn't realize, I think, in my own self, how much I enjoy being somebody who helps create those moments where we can just have a good old freaking belly laugh, or we can have moments where we are just having fun. And I think we've missed that more in the last couple of years than we realize we've missed. Think about that for a moment. And so it was, I don't know, it was interesting for me because I feel a little bit like, okay, I'm remembering what perhaps my purpose looks like and how I can help and how I can be a leader of connection moving forward. What do you think? What do you feel? What do you think has been the pieces that you've been missing that you can't wait to incorporate back into your world? So we know that there's going to be conversations swirling around what it's going to look like when the world opens back up. And we don't really know what the parameters of that look like. And we've heard announcements. I think the province of Saskatchewan announced that they are going to be releasing their mandates at the end of this month, I believe. I didn't do any research before saying that. I'm just going by conversations I heard. There's supposed to be an announcement out of the province of Alberta this week. We know that every province has kind of sort of done different things on their own timelines and schedules through this whole process. But how does that make you feel? And I think knowing and acknowledging that you're going to have people in your circle, and that could be you, who are not ready for those kind of changes to come back. And you have people in your circle, and it could be you, who have felt that it's been time for a while and you are so ready to embrace that. And I think we have to remember, especially as we've seen over this last couple of weeks, whatever your feelings are about the freedom convoy that is happening, we are seeing very mixed emotions and very still divided opinion of all of the elements that come into play for that. And again, I will just remind us that kindness is the way through and connection is the way through. And if you have people who you don't feel you can connect with because you're so far on either side of your opinions, connect with people that you have some sameness with. But don't end friendships over opinions in a time when it's just feeling so crazy, because we never know. It was one of the performers actually said this before they sang a song. And so they lost a friend during COVID. And I feel like, and I'm going to read into this because I don't know the truth scenario, but it felt very much to me like, listening to that song, that perhaps this friend was lost to suicide. Now, I don't know that for sure, but it just brings into perspective, because again, I don't think we're talking about suicide and using that word as comfortably as we need to be. But it just got me thinking, they had said before they sang the song is, don't lose your friends during this time frame, because you don't know like how long you have left with that person, because we don't know when our calling card is pulled. We have no idea what that looks like. So how do we stay connected, and how do we come together, and how do we stay as whole people with varying opinions, with different sides of life, and still hold each other in a great place of love and kindness? That's the challenge I feel like we have. And it made me think of that in that moment, that I mean, there's lots of things that could make us want to just go another direction, but look deep into what holds you to that person, what started in the first place, if that makes sense. And you just never know. You just never know. So I don't know. That's a deep thought for a Monday, isn't it? Good morning, Liz. Welcome. James Todd H. Loosemore from the Caribbean Princess. Thank you for being on the show, Todd. I can't remember if I'm supposed to call you James or Todd, but Mr. Loosemore, that's what we'll call you. Appreciate you jumping in and having coffee with us today. So there's my rambling thoughts for a Monday morning. Please let me know what's on your mind. We've been sharing, if you catch Coffee Club on Facebook, you've probably seen some of the posts, but if you're on some of our other platforms, we don't have it there. But we are taking part in doing Friendly February, part of the Action for Happiness. They create these great calendars every month. And so we're just making February friendlier. And so we've been posting our daily challenges on the Facebook page. So hoping you will take part in doing. If you don't want to do all of them, don't. It's so fine. But there's just a daily challenge that I'll share every day from their page with what we can do to be a little bit friendlier during the month of February. So I hope that you will check that out. If you're catching this later, hashtag replay. Let me know your thoughts on this Monday morning. How you feeling about things? What did you get up to on the weekend? Any of you with us now, feel free to post that into the comments. Suzanne said it was a really great weekend. She loved seeing everyone at convention and chatting with people. Yeah, like felt a little bit like some of the good old days were coming back, and maybe we can figure that out. But that's my thoughts for a Monday morning. Thank you for coming and having a cup of coffee, or tea in my case. Have an amazing rest of your Monday. It is like crazy windy in my neck of the woods. And I guess it's a Chinook thing. But the really crazy wind, I could do without. I'm not going to lie. Merge is hanging out from Norway this morning. Do what makes you feel happy and loved throughout the day. Ooh, and include animals, right? They're so great. Animals make the world go round. I have 3 amazing fish. All right, friends, I am going to bid you adieu for this Monday morning. Thank you for having coffee and allowing me to show up full pajama style. And yeah, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. We will see you back here Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Have a good couple of days, and we'll talk to you later.